It's Ronaldo. Oh, he's done it! He has only gone and done it!
Skarbrand is love. Skarbrand is life. Skarbrand can wield weapons from the 41st millennium, hit for more than 3,000 weapon damage, and reach level 50 before turn 50. Skarbrand is a One-Daemon Doomstack from hell. We're about to prove it in the most hilarious of ways, while giving you all a taste of how his campaign plays too. And just look at those thick legs, man. It's enough to make Slaanesh shudder in pleasure. So yeah, Khorne is my favorite campaign experience in Warhammer 3 right now, period. I haven't played everybody yet, so I reserve the right to change my viewpoint, but remember when I talked about how ridiculously OP everything sounded when the Blood Gods mechanics were first revealed? Well, all that's come true and more. For me, it's pretty much the go-to Chaos experience, and absolutely freaking blows the Warriors of Chaos campaign out of the water. Like, it's not even close. It's super fast-paced, all about momentum, never stopping, never resting, never even tapping the brakes, just gas, 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 initial D style. Your mainline tier 1 infantry costs more than 1,000. It is elite, and it will straight up dumpster other factions' foot troops. And they're viable into late game. So yes, while doomstacking is absolutely still a thing in Warhammer 3, it is not required with Khorne. In fact, this might be one of the races where you're incentivized not to do so, simply because your low tier stuff is already more than capable of winning you battles into late game, and because when you raise a settlement and summon a blood host army, that newly spawned host can then go on to raise more settlements and summon more blood hosts themselves. So if you're playing this really hardcore and really trying to min-max, you want as many armies as possible so you can just swamp the map in blood hosts. It's cracked, it's bananas, and it's honestly just fun as hell. But we're only going to give you a taste of that today, because this video is all about Skarbrand, and the fact that he's probably the strongest demon in the entire game. So, we're in the death battle anime arena of lava and blood, about to duel to the death to earn Khorne's favor. Serena Katerin has shown up to claim her first Demon Prince soul, and rogue armies damned for eternity will show up to the party as well. While you're fighting here, you need to earn 500,000 skulls to drop at the doorstep of the Brass Citadel, which typically equates to around 3 or 4 battles. It's honestly not that hard in the early game, especially because Skarbrand replenishes while moving in enemy territory. But once that sacrifice has been made, the door to the Brass Citadel opens, the gatekeeper flies out, and you will begin the survival battle in Khorne's domain. However, scattered around this desolate wasteland are powerful artifacts that you can take back into the mortal plane. They're all really good, but there's one in particular that we're interested in here. The Righteous Fist of a Space Marine from the 41st millennium. That's right, Warhammer 3 has 40k chain swords possessed by demonic entities. That's some heavy metal shit right there. Yeah, the effects by themselves are already powerful, but take a look at that passive. As it racks up kills, it becomes more and more powerful, reaching its climax at 300% increased weapon damage. So when you take a level 30 Skarbrand, who's already hitting for 1k a swing, we're talking cataclysmic damage potential against enemy single entities, like 3-shotting Kolek kind of stuff. Now I want to show you guys the skill tree real quick, just so you can see how I've kitted him out thus far. His unique skill line is extremely good. That extra move range after winning a battle stacks with extra move range after raising. That's essentially how you keep up his momentum. So you can easily play 4, 5, 6 battles in the same turn and burn down whole sections of the map in very short order. Every single skill in his yellow line buffs his weapon strength, which I find really funny and thematic, and he regens in melee too, which is huge, because with the stacking ward saves and physical resistance we have, not only can he buzzsaw his way through anything, he'll also tank absurd amounts of incoming damage. So I want to show you guys how Chainsword works in practice first, before we get into a huge battle with N'Kari and the armies of Slaanesh in the Chaos Wastes. The one potential downside to fighting, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 battles a turn as Khorne, is that casualty replenishment doesn't always have time to kick in, and you don't have ranged troops to keep casualties at 0. But with this build, it doesn't really matter. You can keep the army back and let Skarbrand punt people into Age of Sigmar while he solos the garrison. I mean, it's obviously really fun, and that's important, but this serves a practical application as well, because there are times where you've just played a bunch of brutal fights in a row, and you need to get out of a battle with minimal or 0 losses so that your important troops have the time required to convalesce. Having a Skarbrand who can reliably run in solo, take down an army, and take minimal HP damage can be campaign saving in quite a few situations, and more than anything, it's thematic, which is where Creative Assembly have really nailed this campaign. Nothing screams Skarbrand more than teleporting across the map, raising 5 settlements in a turn, then disappearing back into the warp. That's literally how he plays in Warhammer 3, and it's a blast. So, the Exiled won, dropping dookies on this Khorne garrison. Started the battle at 1.1k weapon strength, jumped up to 1.6k around the 50 kill mark, then got to 2.1k, now up to 3k, and that will continue to rise while stacking with Wrathful Reaper, his 50% weapon strength combat steroid. In fact, at least in this current build, I believe popping that allows him to reach his chainsword threshold even faster than he should be able to. Problem, of course, is that with how splash damage works, Lord like Skarbrand has a limit on how many targets he can hit per swing, and 3,000 weapon strength is just stupid overkill on infantry. Most of it's going to be wasted, but where it's not wasted is on single entity monsters, heroes, and lords. The Gatekeeper in Khorne's survival battle has like a 50% ward save and 20,000 HP. Skarbrand can kill him in less than a minute by himself. So if you happen to be a Blood Reaper standing in his way, well, rest in pieces, sweet prince. You're gonna get drop-kicked out of existence. Permanently. I mean, that dude got punted so hard he literally disappeared. 2 attacks to kill a hero. Yeah, Skarbrand might be strong. So let's give him a real test against a mighty opponent and a deadly garrison in the realm of the Dark Prince. So Skarbrand's level 45 at turn 45. Like, is that just not absurd? They raised the Lord level cap up to 50, and we're going to hit that before the first stage of the campaign is even complete. Now, that's obviously because I'm a god, and not at all because Khorne's kind of cracked. But you start at war with N'Kari, obviously. Khorne and Slaanesh hate each other, and I teleported my army into the back of their empire via a cult building, which is yet another one of their stupid strong mechanics. And even though they're very much on the back foot now, they are certainly ready for this battle. Slaanesh is in many ways a viable counter to Khorne. They can easily crack through all our armor. It's a strong army, and it's a strong garrison defending from the safety of a minor settlement with AP towers. So, kind of gotta be a little bit careful here, especially because my army is a little bit depleted at the moment. They've got Exalted Demonettes. Look at that stat line, 49 melee attack, tons of AP. N'Kari can get up to 1.1k weapon strength with his Witsealer sword, 76 melee attack base. He's a strong duelist, but I've got Blood Crushers. You start with 2 Blood Crushers and a Blood Throne, or Blood Shrine, in your army, which is awesome. I love Skarbrand's starting army. It's super fun. But yeah, Skarbrand is a pimp, and it's all about the chainsword here. So, we're going to send him into the teeth of the enemy defense, rack up all those kills, get him up to around 3.3k weapon strength, and then look for N'Kari to duel us. Alright, boys and girls, let's get it poppin'. In the realm of Slaanesh, we're not technically in the Dark Prince's realm, but you can see some pink hue that calls to mind. This is N'Kari's home base, his starting province, I believe. And we've got a Khornate Cultist, a Blood Reaper, a Blood Shrine, and we'll be waiting for that Blood Host to appear on the horizon on the other side. Take a look at this Gate of Khorne and the Greater Gate of Khorne. The hero, or cultist rather, of the Khorne army can summon Bloodletters and a Blood Thirster, which is pretty freaking sweet. 2 Blood Crushers, 18 bonus versus infantry on them. You start with them, 2 of them. They might be really good here. And then, of course, Skarbrand, Vanguard deployed out front, and we're going to send him in solo while we wait for the Blood Host to appear. Locus of Wrath on Kriegar, Reaper of Ockendorf. He's our Blood Reaper hero. We're going to keep our army split, just to make sure we don't blob up too much in a choke point, get slicing sharded and towered to death. You do want to utilize more of the map now, because there's more capture points that are actually important for you to hold on to. Let's try a breath attack. I want to see how this works against Seekers. Oh my god. It did absolutely nothing. What the hell? Usually those breath attacks are better against big blobs of infantry, but with the way minor summon battles work now, AI doesn't really like to blob. They don't commit that many troops to you at any given time, so those blobs don't really form as much. So, might as well use the breath attacks when I get the chance. Again, we're going to keep this army back for now. I don't want to go right in, just because what happens to them matters. Casualty replenishment matters for them. I have a free army that'll be coming from the other side very soon that will hopefully take a lot of heat off Skarbrand. But as we start, I mean, I'm just going to go straight in here, let him get surrounded by chariots and by chaos spawn. And even though, again, some of that weapon damage will be wasted, some of that weapon damage will be overkill, he's still killing some pretty high value troops. Chaos spawn, seeker chariots, that kind of stuff. And he's taken a lot of armor piercing towers at the moment and barely taking any damage, so not a bad start. So I'm gonna flare out a little bit more here because I want to utilize that choke point that's past the tower. I need to get at that first capture point in that plaza, shut down that tower, and we'll leave Skarbrand in here for now. I think the reinforcements are about to show up. Yeah, they should be maybe like 20 seconds away or so. I'm very excited to try out these Blood Crushers. Again, I've said it before, Skull Crushers and Blood Crushers are two of my favorite Warhammer Fantasy Battle units. I love Juggernauts in general. That's why Oakley and I, or Invicta and I, decided to work on them as one of our first units of Warhammer videos. Just so badass, quintessential Warhammer shit. But we are in range of that Slicing Shard tower, so let's back up. So it's a magic tower, not an AP tower. Remember, they can get Hell Cannon towers, they can get AP towers, they can get ones that are better versus demons. And a magic tower is pretty good versus demons because all your units have physical resist and are weak to magical attacks. Yeah, Skarbrand is doing good right now. We've got our Blood Host army on the other side. And yeah, as soon as I move towards that supply point, that should take a lot of heat off my real army and allow me to move in. So, in this Blood Host army, I've got 2 Skull Cannons, which should be useful in the choke points here. 2 Chaos Furies, 6 Bloodletters, and 2 Exalted Bloodletters. I'll be curious how they do against Exalted Demonettes. If you get the charge off, they should perform well. What won't perform well here are my Chaos Warriors, which have been a linchpin of many of my builds. As you can see, I have some gold and silver chevrons on them. The problem they face is that against all this AP, they suffer quite a bit. They do have great melee defense, but if they get flank charged, it hurts super bad. And AI is actually not too bad about that. They will try to outflank you with at least the Seekers and with some of these Demonette units. So it looks like I'm going to have free entry. Skarbrand is continuing the gangbang. Fleshhounds of Khorne are also quite good against Slaanesh troops. They can actually keep pace with quite a few of them. And a flank charge from them is devastating. They have 65 weapon strength. He's beginning to take damage. That ward save will only go so far. And remember, the physical resistance won't really help here because he's being shot by magical towers. So only a 30% ward save, which is still quite good, but haven't been able to get, I mean, hell, we're at turn 45. Like, the fact that I can even do this against a garrison this powerful kind of tells you how insane this character is anyway. But he's up to 2.1k weapon strength now. Let's try another of these Bellows of Endless Fury, if I can get one off in time. I'm not going to be able to. Seekers are too fast. Alright, we'll continue the slaughter then. And now they're starting to shift troops over. So Seeker Chariots in the vanguard. Yeah, none of my units over here are actually good at killing chariots. Here come the Demonettes. Make sure we get our charge bonus off there. Let the Exalted Bloodletters go in. Skull Cannons move up, and the Fleshhounds and Harpies, or rather, Chaos Furies can help support against the chariots. The Seeker Chariots aren't too scary. If those were some of the more high-tier chariots, I might be a little bit worried there. Alright, it's time to go. Attack the barricades, push through, and get at those capture points. I think half the army will be heading the way of this Blood Host. Oh, those bloodletters are gonna get pounded. Oh, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt a lot. Overextended with them, that's okay. Again, the Bloodhost army is free. They're not free upkeep, but I can make one every single time I raise a settlement. So, not particularly worried what happens to them. I will focus some of my micro over there, but this side is way more important. It is so weird to me that the AI is programmed to push past their own barricades. I don't know why that's a thing. Yeah, you will. Alright. Cultist and his whole section of the army moving towards supply point here. Let's get a Gate of Chaos out and some Bloodletters fighting the infantry garrison on that blockade. Dark Prince going balls deep over on the Bloodhost side. Skull cannons are cool. You can use them like chariots and then shoot at point blank and then go into melee, run away, do some more shooting. But they're incredibly inaccurate. Like, I'll see them whiff shots from point blank all the time. It's actually kind of hilarious how bad they can be in terms of accuracy. Let's get Locust of Wrath popped for that plus 40 melee attack and an AoE. And hell, let's get a Bloodthirster on the field from the realms of chaos. Go forth, my minions, conquer them, kill them, blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne. Alright. Yeah, that's really cool looking. Kill something. Just go in there, don't really care. We're saving the big duel for Skarbrand anyway, so. Yeah, those Fleshhounds should be really good here. Exalted Bloodletters are getting pounded over on that side. There's so many Chaos Spawn and Exalted Demonettes, like, that's some high tier stuff. Skarbrand doing the wiggle and the twerk. But he's about to finish up in the middle, and we can actually push through and capture this point too. Silence a bunch of these towers. I don't know why you guys are running back. Go back to the barricade, please. He's still regenning from Gore Feast. Let's see if we can get some good Skull Cannon shot. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Not quite Hell Cannon power. So if you're worried about Khorne having ranged troops that are legit good, they are not. Leave the Fleshhounds in, don't care. It'll be a glorious Horde of Khorne. Brutal indeed. Where my blood pack at though? Yeah, so we'll let the Blood Crushers finish off those Chaos Spawn, push through, make sure we silence that tower as quickly as possible, because I think the magic towers do have a little bit of an AoE component, which can hurt all my demon infantry. Skarbrand is through. Okay. Well, he's going to be going into duel with Nikari at half HP. Let's see if it matters. 2.9k weapon strength now. So not fully maxed out, but real close. Yeah, he's at 3k. Alright, so he's pretty much maxed out now. When I pop Wrathful Reaper, he will get higher, but I think he won't get any more from the Chainsword. Through the barricades on that side, just captured this plaza, so all those towers died. And we got the duel of the century coming up. Let's go. I'm actually hyped for this. Oh my god. Can he 4-shot Nikari here? Windsealer Sword is at. Oh my god. He's chunking him. I mean, Nikari's no joke either. He's got 1.1k weapon strength. He would beat so many lords. Dude, I'm gonna 4-shot Nikari. Even while I'm debuffed, the 4-shot is real. 3.2k weapon strength, and the Prince of Pleasure is done. Skarbrand, you freaking beast. That is the kind of showing I wanted for this video. Oh, that was glorious. Now, Nikari hit back. Like, he hurt Skarbrand too, even through that ward save, but I mean, he just couldn't stand up. And remember, Skarbrand was already half HP, like. He took one of the strongest steroids in the game with the Windsealer Sword. while debuffing Skarbrand, and I still dominated that duel. I mean, didn't even just dominate it. Like, that was straight poopage. That was hot. Oh, I'm happy. Enjoy my breath attacks. Oh my god, it was horrible again. Alright, so I'm learning about this breath attack. You need to be closer, and it needs to be on massed infantry. Max range seems to be extremely inaccurate, which is weird because dragon breath attacks don't work that way. The further you are, the better. A lot of the time, you get more coverage over a unit. But that's army losses, and I'll have to deal with the chaos spawn, but I can move in and decap all these points. And even though the blood host will be punished heavily there, didn't lose too many men in our starting army. That was really good. That was a super fun battle. And a huge win, because I think this is going to be the end of our war with Nakari. Like, I don't think he can come back from this. He has one more settlement, but he's not going to have time to build up his forces, especially because we've got 75% extra move range. If we decide to raise this. Nasty stuff. Well played, Skarbrand. Oh my god. So have a look at these blood cults. The blood cult arena. Sometimes a cult will just appear across the map, right? And then you can build this building. You can choose not to fill that building slot at all. And then when you're ready for Skarbrand to teleport over there, raise a bunch of stuff, sack a bunch of stuff, get a bunch of money. Build that building, and it will summon Skarbrand and his entire army there. You go in, lay waste to the area, make a bunch of cash, see the world. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. The Black Ark's on fire off the coast of Ulthuan. Watch demonic invasions flicker in the dark near the Dragon Gate. All those moments will be lost like tears in the rain. So this is Infernius. This is my capital city. We've got a few things to worry about here. Financial situation is fine. We're in the red, but we're essentially a horde that can settle, so being in the red is not a problem at all. We can make all that back in a single sack of the right city. Got a second army over near the water near Norska. And as we sack stuff and raise stuff, remember that you can passively colonize all those raised territories. As long as you own one province or settlement in that province. Level 48 at turn 48. God, it's insane. Might save up for... I might go into Lightning Strike. It's not as good as it was in Warhammer 2. It's not as necessary as it was in Warhammer 2. But obviously it can still be very good. Probably hold on to some skill points just to figure out how I want to use them. I don't need to invest those yet. But yeah, weapon strength buffs are always fun. Move into this Snurgle Rift here. See if a demonic army will spawn. So I could traversing would probably be the right play. Oh, you know what? There's... Because this Roar of Ursun is done now. I'm not sure that rift even still exists. There are no rifts to teleport to. So we can't use that right now. I would consider going to Cathay, raising a bunch of settlements, making a bunch of cash. But for now, we'll close it. Auto-resolve this battle, of course. That'll give me even more movement points that I can then use to move on to the next settlement and continue prosecuting my war. Just replenish that for now. I don't need cash too bad. Pick up a bunch of skulls. And auto-resolve will kill these, so I would have to fight the battle. Don't need to do that for this campaign video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm having a blast with Khorne, and you're going to see a lot more Khorne gameplay in the coming days and weeks. I think it's one of the best campaigns CA have ever done for Chaos, or really any Horde-style faction. Yes, they can settle, but they still kind of play like a Horde. And the Chainsword is... I mean, it just turned Skarbrand. He's already an amazing character. You don't need the Chainsword to be good with him at all. But it turns his dueling prowess up to a new level. And I'm just having a ton of fun with this. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And a ton more Warhammer 3 content coming very soon. I'll see you in the next one.